Hey everyone, it's Kelly Sullivan Walden, and I'm about to go live. I actually am live already, and you're with me. Nancy T, as in Nancy Telsero, is going to join me any second now, and we're going to do a little. It's a new version. I'm trying to bring this video down so it's not so ceiling-ish and more face-ish. So Nancy is going to be joining me any second now. Nancy Telsero. We're going to talk about dreams. We're going to talk about how was your memorial? How was, I don't know, what you been doing? What's it been like? All right. So Nancy, I see you watching, and I think it's gonna say something about, I don't know. You're gonna do something. Bring Nancy on camera. How about if I'm adding you? This is exciting. We're
Hey,
doing new technology. Yay!
here I
Hey,
am.
guess what? Guess what?
What?
I'm into nighttime dreams,
I'm into having a dreamy life.
but we're both into both.
Yeah, for us and you too, for sure.
Welcome to Dreams Unzipped. This is our brand new format
Yeah,
for our podcast, Facebook Live, yada, yada, yada.
and all of that.
This is, and all of that, yada, yada, yada.
Extra
So
yada.
we've been extra, like, add 1,000 yadas to that because we've been, Nancy and I love to like hang out together, and there's always this fun banter, and yet trying to like take it outside of our private world, our private intimate little cocoon, and outside it's a little clunky. We've been playing with what are we called,
Oh, Kel,
how do we brand ourselves,
remember where
what do
we
we wear,
remember when we started off? We were lipstick mystics. Then we found out somebody else was a lipstick mystic. We got the hook.
whatever.
Yeah,
And I still have my issues with that because she doesn't even wear lipstick.
yeah, and she's not all that mystic. So no
We're
judgment.
not going to be haters though.
No judgment. So that was
No
like,
judgment.
And they were trying to figure it out. We're like, we're spiritual girls in the material world. We balance both of those parts of our life. That's what we do.
That's what we do. That's what we love to do. Sorry there's so much ceiling in here. I can't figure out how to get rid of that. But hey,
That's all right.
that's what you
That's
get.
okay. I got a guy mowing
Okay.
his lawn forever in a day behind me. Like,
So
how big is his lawn? I just want to
it's
know.
real life stuff. Okay, so Nancy, I was telling you that I've been having dreams about you.
Yeah,
Go figure. I'm sure everybody that knows you
I
has dreams
feel
about you. But
flattered. Tell me about
you
it.
know, it I always tell people if like it's flattering to dream about somebody because
Sure.
it's like it means that that person isn't just an external person. That means that they live deep on the from inside. Like
We-
you're in there. Okay, so this dream was super cute. We were on a volcano climbing. Go figure.
yeah,
That's so
been there,
yeah,
done
we
that
just
for sure, for real.
for sure.
And it was a dream.
And Joe Gagnon went running past us and he gave us a wave. And we were like, hey, Joe, that's cool. Go, Joe, go. And then, so you and I were walking, not running. And all of a sudden, I noticed these figures moving, these giant, like panthers. And one was white with black stripes, like a tiger. And another one was all black. And I was like, oh my God. So you and I were getting closer to them, and you came up from behind me and put your arms around me. And we walked past them as if we were one big person. And they went like this, but they never came up to us. And I woke up feeling like, oh my God, where we're together, we're stronger. Where we're
Oh,
together, we're better. Where we're
oh,
together, we're not going to get eaten by tigers.
oh, wow. I feel,
Isn't that cute?
I love that dream, and I feel blessed to have been able to co-star in it with you. I love that. It wasn't even just a cameo. I played a really good role in that. Thank you.
Yes, you
Thank
did.
you for the casting. I appreciate it. Um, I, it's funny because right away you were describing those tigers, and I was like, the one with the white with the black stripe. I was like, that's you, and I'm the whole dark one. And I thought those were us. And then you said that which is crazy because I in that real life scenario would be scared out of my whole socks and all of my parts. But I tried to protect you in some way, and then we went forward. So I love that you
Yeah.
made me so strong in that dream.
You were so strong, and it was very sweet, and it was very much like in the moment. So, what I think when we talk about dreams, some people go, "Oh my God," but it's so personal, how boring, because it's just shows us what's going on in the
And that
inside of your
one
mind,
person,
Kelly.
yeah, no, but
Right.
no.
And that is sort of true, but I think anytime there's a dream, Paulo Coelho, the guy who wrote The Alchemist, I always have to drop a name of a book in
You
everything we
do.
do.
I want her to write
It's
a book.
Tourette's.
I've been saying I want you to write a book with all the books that you recommend. It would be to all the
Of all the
books
books
I've
I've
loved
loved before,
before. You got to do
I've
it like
had
Willie.
before.
Married to
Oh,
all the
like
girls
Ethel
I
Merman,
love.
not Julio Iglesias.
I think it was Willie. Wasn't it Willie that sang that?
Oh, I think it was a duet.
Oh, was it? Oh, God. I just know it was very wobbly.
Ah! Okay, anyway, Paulo Coelho, he says in the book, and I think this is the reason that the whole book was written. I mean, the book is a good book. It's more like the story is good. It's not that it's like so excellently written, but this one little piece is so good. It's all about the connecting with the soul of the world. It's about this young boy who goes on a quest. It's very much hero's journey-esque, and he's trying to find this elixir, and this, it's like going to get you, once you're in touch with the soul of the world, then really you're in touch with yourself,
Ah,
because it's the same. If you're in touch with your soul, you're in touch with the soul of the world, which is everybody. And best way to do that, hello, through dreaming and
yeah.
speaking dreams, because it's the language of soul. Hello, Leanne Nichols.
Do you
Oh my
see all
God, I
these
hear
people saying
congratulations
hello to
is in
you?
order. I don't see them. I don't see what they're
Oh,
saying. I
Rick
just see that
Myers
they're joining.
said that we're cracking him up.
Who?
Rick Myers.
Hello, Rick Myers.
I'm glad we're cracking you up. And
And
hello
Leanne
to all these
Nichols.
people. What is Leanne saying?
I don't know if she's saying anything, but I just saw her pop on, and I just
Ah.
wanted to wish her congratulations, and she knows why.
Oh, well, you can tell me later.
Okay. It's very exciting.
I bet
Super
it is.
exciting.
I feel it.
Okay, so let's get down and dreamy about
Yes.
other people's
For
dreams, shall
sure,
we?
for sure.
So,
There's one I want to tell you about. Okay, my friend had a dream. These are recurring dreams. It's about people in attics. Okay, it's about her always going into an attic, always in an attic. And she finds in this attic that there are several rooms that she discovers. And usually in these dreams, she also inside a drawer or behind something discovers something special, something precious from her mom, who I happen to know is has passed away for years now. It'll be like a handwritten note, from her to her, and she finds these lovely things in these attics with all of these different rooms that she discovers. And she's like, "Why always attics? Why, why?" So, Kel, what do you say?
oh my God. Okay, I just heard something that I hadn't heard before, but before I answer, I'm going to do a quick little commercial break. I just noticed this was in the background.
Really,
This
really, right now?
this was sent to me. This was sent to me by Missy Bistrom. This is an amazing lotion. She's got a product line called the Little Green Oasis. If I could only read, the Little Green Oasis, and this is the most unbelievable hand cream. It's whipped butter. Oh my God, it smells so good. Okay, Nancy, but do a before. Look at my hands before, and I'm not wearing any wedding rings. Sorry, I always take them off, and I forgot to put them on today. But look, don't they look pretty and soft now?
They look lovely. I'm like,
But
let me
I
get in
wish
there.
we had smell-o-vision. If you could just smell.
I
Oh my
smell it
God.
or something.
It's so good. Okay. That's thelittlegreen.oasis.com. Missy Bistrom, I love you. Thank you for sending
And let's
this to
just
me.
pretend like my friend found that in the attic, and we'll get back to that dream.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Something
So let's
fresh.
talk about the attic. All right. So interestingly, I'm going to go kind of out of order because that's the kind of girl I am.
Yeah, you're out of order.
I'm out
Kelly,
of
you
order,
are
Your
out
Honor.
of order.
Totally. I think one of the things that I love about dreams is the fun and interesting, and sometimes not so much fun, but wordplay. And sometimes the way a word sounds could be revealing something else. And when you said addicts, I immediately thought addict, like addiction.
Oh,
Like, why am I always in addicts?
wow.
Lola, why is Lola
She
always
wants to
crying?
know. She's like, why? She's going
Talk
to get
amongst
Lola
yourselves while I get Lola on here.
because the theme is whatever Lola wants. Remember? Lola
Nancy,
can. What?
I'm so proud of you. Look at you just singing spontaneously. A while ago, you would not sing,
Oh,
and you've got such a lovely voice. Oh my
that was
God, I
not an
feel.
example of it, but I was Lola in Damn Yankees, and that's why I said that.
Okay, wait. Excuse me.
What?
That is another cross connection of ours
Stop
that we didn't know
it.
about.
What?
I did a little one-woman show, and I was Lola. Make up your mind to have no regrets.
Did you do it with the little Spanish accent?
I don't know. I don't think I did it.
Because in that moment, she was trying to be Spanish when she was singing that at that time. She was faking like she was
I didn't
Hispanic.
know enough.
Okay, but
I
that's
should have done a little more research. That's why I'm no longer an actress, but you are. Okay. Okay, so
best.
I'm in Addicts. So so she's in
Tammy
Addicts.
Walsh,
So I
sing
wonder.
again, she said. Oh, she's so cute. Kelly,
Who said that? Tammy
Walsh wants you to sing again.
Me?
I think so.
I think she's talking about you. Wait, like, Tammy Walsh. We should invite Tammy Walsh on to sing "Natural Woman."
Did she sing that?
Tammy Walsh,
is she?
Are you open to singing a little piece of "Natural Woman"?
I would love that. I would love that.
Tammy, I'm going to try it.
Add her on. Plus, I want to
Tammy, I'm going to put you on the spot, girlfriend. Oh, it says I can't.
You can't? What? Can you only bring one person at a time?
I don't know. Maybe they're not open to it. I'm not sure. But you know what?
She said
Tammy
both.
Walsh,
she wants us both to sing it.
Okay, but Tammy, you rock at Natural Woman. That's all I can say.
Does?
And many other things. She does. Okay, so Addicts. I wonder if the person who sent in the dream has issues with addiction or being in relationship with people with addiction. That's just the wordplay kind of.
Very interesting.
And or if they're her own or what have you.
Yeah.
Because that can be addicting to have relationships with addicts. Also, but just if we're going to be kind of take an addict at face value, my perspective, if it were my dream, is that addicts are above the roof. They're above the normal living area. A house is typically expressive of our body and our levels of consciousness. Like the basement is kind of our primal self. The living room and main floor of the house is more of our ego self that we show to the world. The attic would be more of our higher consciousness or the thoughts that we've stored up, maybe memories, that kind of thing. So I feel like up in Addicts, she's exploring perhaps her higher consciousness, a higher point of view. Maybe because it also touches the sky closer than the regular room. It's kind of where the veil between worlds is thinner. So contact with guides and spirits
and her
maybe
mom,
even departed love.
Yeah,
and maybe her mother. Exactly. So I think if there's, I know there's more to that dream. I think you talked about she's in Addicts and she got the notes from her mother.
Yes.
So I think I would take that dream like it's like a beautiful gift, and even literal, your mom saying this is one way for me to get to you and to communicate to you. Since you're used to going up there, keep going. And I think that this is a way to, last thing. I think we mentioned this on our show last week, but I think when we lose somebody, the not the burden of proof, but the burden of connection is more on us than it is on them. I think they are always at the ready to have us be with them, but we have to elevate. We have to, I don't think that it's easy to find them when we're in the density of our emotions or the drama of our lives. I think we have to kind of find a different radio station that's on a higher frequency, and up there, boom, 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 we can access them. So the attic kind of represents going into the higher frequency.
That's awesome. She's going to love that. I'm trying to get her on. She doesn't maybe know about this page, so I'm going to have to share this with her later, but she's going to love this answer. Thank you for answering, Kel.
Hi, Dana Walden. Is Dana Walden saying anything? He always has something funny to say.
I haven't seen him. I wonder if he knows that we're on this page. But
we're waiting to. Yeah, he's here. I see him watching.
Oh, I haven't seen him. Hi, Dana
so
Walden.
is there anything you think did that perculate any thoughts for you?
All of that, the relationship to the word addict and like the higher self and all of that good stuff. And I think that just the fact that she finds those extra rooms, she keeps finding, discovering and uncovering things is very significant and
Ooh,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finding new, I think a lot of people talk about houses and finding new rooms. And I think that means we are infinite beings and we're so much more than what we think we are, what's on our resume, what's on our business card, what's on our Facebook profile page or whatever. We are infinite. And I think if we're explorers, if we're on a spiritual path, we will find new dimensions of ourselves. It's like that saying in the Bible, my father's house has many mansions. Most of us are living in one tiny little guest quarters when really we got a mansion to explore. So get exploring.
Yeah. And
Get
we've got
going.
a ton
And
of
Nancy
people.
happens to live in a mansion.
I kind
So
of
that's
do.
a
Yeah.
literal story for you.
There's a lot of people saying hello, and they want us all to say hi to them. And I don't know all of these people. To hello, hello, hello. I think they especially want to hear from you. So say hi to all you peeps.
Hi, everybody, but I can't see diddly doodle. I don't know
Why
why.
can't you? I wonder. Huh?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
I'll let you be my eyes. I'm glad you can see.
Yeah.
But
Do you? Yeah. Uh-huh.
let's get down and dreamy in another area. Let's talk about love. I think of
Let's
you,
talk about
Nancy,
love.
as the love bug. Like you're saying is, and I love that you created this in your email thing. I give love, I get love.
That's true.
I feel like you epitomize love, and whether that be in relationships with whoever, but let's just, we're always in relationship. And I think, let's face it, we could all use a dose of more love, a big dollop of more love, because that's my favorite word today.
Dollop.
So Nancy, what are we going to, oh, I know, I have a question that came to me that I'm going to throw your way.
Okay, go on.
Right. All right. So, this is a bit of an amalgam, actually, because there's a number of people I know that struggle with this, but here we go. So this couple, the woman of the couple, asked this question. Her and her husband work together. They're entrepreneurs. There's a lot of couples these days that are starting to work together. So, or that are thinking about doing that in this virtual day and age. Anyway, they've been working together for years and they've had a pretty successful go at it. They recently were part of a big project that didn't go the way they planned, the way they expected. And the husband is considering it to be a failure. And because the dynamic between the two of them has been that the woman has been a bit more of the alpha, wearing a bit more of the pants in the relationship, and the man has been a bit more of the soft, gentle water flowing around the rock beta character. He's suddenly pissed and he's finding his mojo and he's saying, I'm out of here. I think this relationship should be over. And the woman in the relationship is absolutely heartbroken and wants to see what can she do to fix this, to remedy this, to help it to evolve. So Nancy, what would you do? What would you say to her?
Well, what I would say to her is that, after I'm assuming they've been together a long time.
Yes, they have.
After years of being together, and there's a dynamic, and there always is. There's always an
Mm-hmm.
alpha and there's always a beta. There's somebody that,
Mm-hmm.
and when there isn't, that's when you have all sorts of friction. When you have that dynamic, there comes a time where eventually one or both resent one another. Uh,
Right.
the alpha resents always having to be the one to make the decisions, and then the beta
Right.
resents always feeling bossed around and like they never get a say. But when you
Right.
set up that dynamic, that's there's always goods and bads to everything. And you say, this is great. I don't have to make the decisions. I don't like that. But wait a minute, I never get to make a decision. So there's always goods and bads to everything. And that's crazy. So here are these two people that
Mm.
love each other and they've had this going on for years. And suddenly he says, you know what, this failure is all your fault. Well, I think it becomes really easy when you're the beta to blame the alpha because they're the one that
Right.
looks like they made all the decisions. But I
Mm-hmm.
also think that just coming from a place of saying that was a failure probably is like stepping on quicksand and not at all real ground. To start
Right.
there, because maybe that thing that they did, I could bet you anything that they learned a heck of a lot. That their
Right.
first go around in this business venture was far more successful than everybody else's first go around. That if they were to
Right.
compare everybody else that does this, they would see, oh, wait a minute, we went actually further into that than they ever did. And I just think there's so much of that that's not real. So to me, this is about him telling himself a story. This is about him being, it's really easy for me to say this was a failure and it's your fault. And there, that at least that ties a bow on it. But that becomes
Right.
dangerous for them. And
Oh,
it puts him in the position of I get to be the victim instead of saying, first of all, we both did really great and there's a lot of success there. And let's
mm.
celebrate that and love that. And both of us did that. And both of us made
Right.
the decisions that made it go right and that made it go not so right. We both did that,
Right.
and
Oh,
it's just,
yeah.
that's a tough position, especially for her. Her heart's breaking, and
Mm.
that's tough after years of being with someone. And suddenly they say, "Hey, you've been bossing me around too much." Um,
Right.
and
Right.
so my advice is, first of all, for 100% always don't take it personally.
Mm.
It's so hard not to, especially in a love relationship, because he's saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. And you go, well, how can I not take it that personally? But it's all about him. It's
Ooh.
all about him needing to blame, him needing, not wanting to face his contribution to anything that didn't go right. Him, that's all of, in
Right.
every aspect, that's about him. And so you know, I know that just taking that whole defense, that takes your defense off when you don't think it's about you anymore. And so you can come from a
Right.
place of love more when that happens. But what I've noticed, Kel, is that there are so many people who are in working relationships with their spouses or with their significant others.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
boy, is that a dynamic, because
Right.
you start to, if that business goes poorly, if somehow that falters, isn't it so very easy to bring that into the relationship and to that, let make,
Oh,
and I mean,
yeah.
you're living a life with a man, and you two do your work all the time together. And
Right.
how is that for you? It's
It's intense, and I think like the best part of it, or one of the best things, is that at the end of the day, you don't have to say, "Hey, honey, so how was your day?" "Oh, it's fine." "How was your day?" "Fine." "Okay, what's for dinner?" It's like there's a juicier connection, especially if you care about what you're doing, if you're passionate about it, if it's part of a mutual purpose, and you both play a yin yang part of what you do. I mean, that to me, there's so much magic in getting to work together. Dana and I think when we like lock in, it's like, oh my God, it's ecstatic. It's, as Barbara Marx Hubbard would say, it's like vocational arousal. We're like, I mean, it's
right.
it's really awesome. I think from a dream perspective, I'm going to weigh in on this.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want
I'm gonna cough 1 second.
to.
Sorry.
Oh my God,
I inhaled
how
a,
rude.
I know, I inhaled a piece
With a
of
quick
grass or
commercial
something.
break from another sponsor, Starbucks. Let
They
it
do
percolate your
not
dreams.
sponsor us. She just lies about that. They're going to.
They
I
will.
like that you're putting
Build
it
it and
out
they
there.
will come.
Build it and they will pour. Pour all over us.
Do you poop out of parties? Join the pepper picker
Yeah.
upper.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our
Do you
favorite.
need your
We do
pecker
share
picked
that.
up?
We share the Lucille Ball love and actual personality traits. And that episode, is that your favorite? Because that's my favorite Lucy episode.
Do you need your pecker picked up?
Do you? Did she just say she's going to pick up a pecker? I think we've just turned this from a
Join the
C-rated
happy,
show.
happy people
It
from
just went to
Starbucks.
rating of R or X.
I just got drunk and I'm drinking coffee. See what
See,
it does?
see what it
A
does.
natural high. Okay,
You were
back
going to
to
weigh
back
in.
back. Rolling it in, rolling it in. Okay, from a dream perspective, sometimes in dreams, people will talk about having broken up or divorced or left a relationship. So I'm just going to address this situation as if it were a dream. I'll often tell people that a dream about breaking up, divorcing, is more about wanting to divorce the pattern than necessarily that person.
Yeah.
It's like, what if the blessing of, as hard as this is for them, what if the blessing for him, if he's open to it, is to see that he's done with this dynamic? This dynamic was scheduled to explode. because one person isn't always going to be on the bottom and one person isn't always going to be on top. And now maybe this is his time to come into his power. But that doesn't mean that the whole dynamic has to be thrown away. Throw the baby out with the dirty water. I mean, Dana and I just watched this great movie. Deborah Berger, if you're out there watching, she was telling us about her son Tao, and I wish I could remember his last name. I think it's Raspouli. He made a film called, best title ever, Monogamish. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. I've heard of that one.
Brilliant. And in it, it's like kind of his story of recovering from the heartbreak of the ending of his marriage, but along the way, it's very anthropological about monogamy and should we always be together with one person and what is that whole commentary. It's so brilliant. It's so well done. But in that, it's, I think some people are wired for monogamy, to make it with one person and to break up the pattern and then recreate the relationship in a whole new way that's maybe more balanced or more current with what the current circumstances are. So I think a breakdown is highly underrated. I think the place that these two are in, I name it really good. I stick a big flag right in the middle of it and say, woohoo, yay, time to like burn the house down, let go of what isn't working so that you can find all the things that really are working. And sometimes you can only find those things once you're willing to just go, okay, let's like burn it down and let's recreate. What do we want? Because I'm sure the woman doesn't want to have to carry the weight of being the alpha all the time. And she's probably just like thrilled as punch or tickled as punch. I don't know how that goes.
Please as
but
punch.
Either way, she probably wants to punch him and drink some punch at the same time. Brought to you by Starbucks. But to give, like, so that they can recreate a role that is more suited for them. I happen to swing on the more monogamish side of things. Of course, I can understand the beauty of polyamory, and my mind has gone there. My body hasn't, but I've thought, oh, that would be an interesting thing. But in reality, I love the notion of being able to have multiple incarnations with one person while you're developing depth and closeness and trust and deeper levels of intimacy. So I'm rooting for that for them. And yet, if this does happen to be where they end, then I hope that they can do it in a very, very conscious way. My hunch is that it's not the end for them. My hunch is that it's the end of the pattern, the beginning of a whole new vista. In dreams, death is an ending of a pattern as well. And that's a predecessor to a whole new life. So that's what I'm hoping for them.
Yeah.
So as we begin to wrap up, is there anything you want to let people know about? I think we should tell people about some upcoming things and where they can go and,
Well, I actually wanted to just touch back on the conversation we were having earlier about our show, trying to figure it out. Well, we've been trying to figure this all out. And we got into this discussion today about branding and about, you want to serve people and you want certain people to take something away from it. And you can get caught up in that. But sometimes the magic of Kelly, the two of us, is just when we're just being, when we're just hanging, and people seem to like that. So,
that's so fun.
What?
What are we? Yeah.
What are we? But what is anybody?
So, I know.
Why we got to figure it out? No one else knows.
I think what we really want to dream manifest is that we just get paid lots of money to just be us and hang out and eat grapes and strawberries and bonbons on occasion and travel.
Yeah. If there's chocolate,
and comment,
and we'll have Dana with us, so there needs to be cheese.
Lots of cheese. Oh, and I'll help him with the cheese. I've become very cheesy since I've been with Dana Waldron. That's one of the perks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I sort of was off cheese for a really long time, and then I hung out with Dana in Paris for a while, and and I was still trying to find a couple of the cheeses that we ate. Why didn't I ask or write it down or whatever? But I'm literally...
You were in the moment.
I'm in Ohio looking for Parisian cheese. Good luck to me.
Good luck with that. Oh, yeah. So like Limburger? Kraft?
Swiss? This is what we got.
Swiss? Oh, my stars.
Oh, my stars. And yours.
So I think we're still in development with all this. So if you want to weigh in on what you think, what you like about what we're doing, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, any brand new ideas
Yeah.
that come to your mind, we're open. We're like in this wide open space of
Accepting,
exploration.
wanting to know and wanting to learn, growth.
Right. And yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We're not locked in. And yet I think we know that there's, Nancy, I know that Nancy is a love bug who's got always something to say on the subject of love. And somehow dreams always seem to pop out of my mouth. And it seems like every conversation we have, Nancy, we find out that there's another cross connection that we didn't know we had. Like it's like
Our
becoming like
town,
a
Lola,
tarantula.
we totally had a soul agreement, don't you think?
I
Before,
know.
for
It's
sure, we had
amazing.
a soul agreement because how could we end up in a hot air balloon crashing into how could we end up climbing pyramids and how could we end up, you
Getting
know,
kissed by giraffes.
getting kissed by giraffes and going up volcanoes and, how could we end up, getting lash extensions? How could all this stuff happen? It's just like
How? Especially the
random.
lassies.
I know because I was never going to do that. And then I did. And
Our
oh,
town and the Our Town and the Catholic
and the
and the
Catholic,
Montserrat.
oh, Montserrat, and walking the Stations of the Cross in many countries, or at least a few.
Backward.
Backwards ones, forwards another. And,
Mm.
being in Guatemala and
And
Colombia and
doing it
here.
for the and probably doing it in real time way back in the day. But
Yes.
that's another show for another day. Um, I want
Oh.
to, there's a couple of things I'm excited about that I want people to know about on my website. There's a trip to Peru that Nancy will be coming to. I give her
What?
the wink. In April of
Oh,
2019.
19. Okay.
So
Because
you
I was
go
like,
to
what?
kellysullivanwalden.com to find out all about Peru. And there's also a trip that you need to be invited to. So if this calls to you, reach out to me at kelly@kellysullivanwalden.com to let me know, and we'll have a conversation and I'll see if you're right, and then I'll send you to the powers that be. But this is a sacred trip to New
Oh,
Zealand.
that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is to meet with this tribe that has not been public since the 1700s, and they pre originated before the Maoris. They're not a warring tribe like warring warriors like the Maoris. They're peace loving, matriarchal led, and they have messages for those of us in the Western world for how we can better live our lives. And oh my Lord, it's going to be intense. It's going to be a once in a lifetime kind of a thing. So if you want to come along, reach out to me at kelly@kellysullivanwalden.com. I believe it's up on my website, but if it's not, just reach out and let me know about New Zealand if you're interested in that conversation. And I know there's going to be a journey to Teotihuacan,
Uh-huh.
and Nancy will definitely be coming to that in December. So if you're interested in that, find that on my website as well. It's just scroll down the bottom of the homepage and you'll find out all that jazz.
Yeah.
And Nancy and I are, we're in Chime In. We're
Yeah.
like
And I
making,
have news there.
go,
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
go.
So the news is I was just approached by somebody locally here who wants to do a fundraiser and they want to donate. I have some friends who are actual real life comedians and they get paid to be that. And they want to put together a comedy show where people come. And then I had somebody else offer to auction off some stuff. So it's going to be like a comedy show and the proceeds will all go to students that we're trying to put through school in Guatemala to our scholarships.
That's
and
amazing.
and then these
Nancy, you should auction off a date with you. I think that would bring in the most. How many orphans could go to school based on one date? And you don't have to do any hanky panky.
there will
I'm
be
such
no
a
hanky
pimp.
or pinky. You're pimping me out. That's
I am
funny.
totally pimping you
You know
out.
that's funny. I have a friend, Krista, who pimps me out all the time. People will talk to her and say, so my toilet's clogged. Nancy could do it. What? What? It doesn't matter what they say. And so I have a side business also. It's called Barter Baby Barter. And let me organize you. And basically, I do this organizing. And sometimes I barter that organizing for people. And then
Oh
they
my.
give me things back, or sometimes they just pay for it. But the organizing does help people in their lives. And if it's not acting, I like to be helping people. So that's why
You're
I do the organizing.
That's so awesome because you're
Yeah.
acting in the
Like I'm
way of
organized.
you're act no, but you're
That's what I'm acting
but
like.
you do because how are you supposed to? Because you not only give love and get love, but you empower other people to do that. And how could you possibly do that if
Girl.
your feng shui
Is more
not?
like
If you're
flung
like
shui.
boxed up and like
If your
yeah,
feng shui
how
went flung shui, I'm here to help. Yeah.
so is there a web page for this yet, or will
There
there be
isn't
a
because I haven't, like, it's weird. It's like word of mouth. And I'm not trying to put it
oh,
out there too much because I still want to get the acting work. But I have been helping
okay.
a lot of people, and it's nice if somebody's struggling, like they're moving and they're unpacking those boxes and it's emotional. It sort of becomes a little therapy session where I'm just trying to get them through it. And it's like, okay,
Okay,
right
so
now
if
it's
they were
just
going to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to
they
find
should
you?
go to Nancy.
Facebook.
Well, nancytellsrow.com is a good way because you got my email there and you've got a contact info there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So
We said a lot today.
we said a lot. And I know we have a very fancy little way to sign off, but I don't remember it at all. Do you?
I, I think
So
it's keep on keeping dreamy, awake and sleepy. Or something like that.
I like it. I like it
Bye,
a lot.
everybody. We love
Keep
you.
on being dreamy, awake, and asleep. Mwah.
Bye.
Sweet dreams.
You have to make it end.